The fact that Valve removed the availability for the coaches to talk in-game during the game, especially on the timeouts, I think it's a good thing for the game, actually. Otherwise, I think you would have seen in the future like a team only consisting of 5 individual good players and then the coach being the in-game leader. So I think it's good for the game overall and for the scene that those type of teams doesn't exist. So you actually have a reliable team of one is an in-game leader, you have an entry fragger, support role, all that stuff. So actually, I don't think it's that bad.
I think that coach shouldn't be allowed to talk during the rounds because it's just less interesting when you have a coach instead of in-game leader, and people who are actually good enough in-game leading and playing the game, like Snacks, Fallen, and other guys, it just takes away from them. So I prefer the way it is now, but maybe there should be some upgrades, but I have no idea what upgrades. I'm tired.
I can understand the standpoint of not having them talk all the time, that it's supposed to be a 5-man team. But I think, first of all, when it comes to the timeouts, one thing I would change in that logic is, for example, when it goes to overtime, I would like to see the teams having at least one more additional timeout, perhaps, or give them a little leeway somehow to be able to affect a little more, because I think it's been limited to the minimum possible right now. What is the definite answer on this? I'm not sure. I quite like the fact that they don't get to talk all the time necessarily, but I think there should be a middle ground between being able to talk more or all the time versus as limited as they are right now. Because having discussed with some of the coaches, they say it's very irritating for them to be watching the game sometimes when they know the answers and they can give them in specific situations only because they have certain amount of timeouts, especially if the game goes overtime and they've already used all the timeouts, and he can't really do anything about it. It's a bit of a shame in that sense.
I mean, we're getting used to it, so it's not like, for us as a team, we don't really need the coach because we have it like in-game leader that's like doing all the calls and strats and stuff like that. So for us, I think it's like pretty good actually, because that means like no other team can just have like 5 really good players and then one coach that's just gonna call for them and tell them to do everything. So it's definitely good for us, but it's really bad for teams like Navi and Fnatic.
I think coaches should be able to talk in every round and not in just tactical timeouts, because it's like football. Like they can, if a football coach stands on the side, wants to call and play, he can just talk to him. And I mean, it's a team game, and all the players do their part, and the coach does a really huge part as well. So I think he should talk. He should be allowed to talk at any time that he wants.
I will say the same as always. I don't really like it because you have other sports where coaches calling you tactics. For example, I think American football coaches have microphones and they talk to the players what tactics they should play. So the same in NHL or football, they can just scream and call the tactic. I don't see reason why the coach cannot speak here, because I don't know. I don't understand it. And I'm against it because I don't see point. Taking 30-second timeout is like nothing to the coach. You cannot even discuss the past rounds, and it's just too small amount of time to discuss anything. So I don't like it.
I don't think coaches have to be allowed to talk like the entire round. I think during the freeze time and the pauses, I think they should, because in this way now I think they're not worth it. It's not worth it to have a coach behind you, because they can only talk in the 30 seconds in the pause. So I think they should talk in the every freeze time and also in the pause.